everybody, welcome to Pure Fires, a podcast where three awesome guys talk about three awesome albums. I'm Chris Morrison.
I'm Ian.
I'm Cody.
Yes, and we have a great show lined up for you today. Cody's got the earliest. I'm in the middle. I'm the peanut butter and jelly. And Ian is the awesome bread at the top, closing it out today.
Me and Ian are just a couple of pieces of white bread.
Yeah, hey, white bread's good.
I like wheat.
Wonder Bread is always sold out, baby. So we got a great show. We do have a question to ask. I didn't post anything this week. Really busy. We actually had, and we were super late on episode 6. We just had computer issues, and we're starting to get everything edited up. I hope you guys enjoyed episode 6. And a new question that I'm also going to post it to Facebook in case people don't listen. I'm going to go ahead and ask, what song in a movie has made a scene? We were just discussing it here, and you know, a couple of good ones where, you know, The Devil's Rejects with Freebird that just makes the scene. And there's a million out there, really. And we just want to know what you guys think. So
we'll let you know ours at the end of this podcast.
Absolutely. We have some great suggestions. You know, we're big movie fans and everything. Everybody loves watching a good movie, sitting down, and popcorn and Coca-Cola.
But not too sexual.
I don't like the look in your eyes as you said that and looked directly at me.
Yeah, directly. You're my vision. I just looked directly at you. I was like, yeah, boy.
Hauntingly seductive.
There was a frightening twinkle in his eye. Told me that I am locking my door tonight.
Best lie, Dad, John. But yeah, we're gonna get to all that at the end of the show. But I would like to just get everything started real quick. It looks like Cody has an awesome album that I was actually thinking about earlier today. I was like, I wonder when Cody's finally going to do this band.
Yep.
And lo and behold.
Yeah, this week I'm doing The Grateful Dead's Workingman's Dead. It's released in 1970. In case you've been living under a rock your whole life, The Grateful Dead is one of the greatest jam bands ever. I mean, just greatest bands in general. They kind of invented the term jam band.
Yeah.
I mean
festies and everything.
Yeah, all the festivals we have today are from what them and a bunch of other psychedelic bands were doing.
Yeah, called them besties.
Besties. It sounds fun. But no, they gave birth to that.
Oh yeah, they gave birth to a lot of stuff, man. I mean, the members, you know, Jerry Garcia, of course,
legend.
The main, Bob Weir, you know, also another legend. Phil Lesh, another legend, probably the greatest bass player I've ever seen live in concerts. Amazing fills he did. Yeah, I felt like every note he played was like flowing perfectly through my mind, if that makes any sense. Just crazy.
See, it's was it transcendental?
I guess.
Transcendent. Yeah, transgendered. Yeah, that's what I'm saying.
Yeah, this was the original lineup too. So they had Ron McKernan, but he's more famously known as Pigpen. He was like the real heart and soul of the band. Like when he died, Jerry Garcia said that's when the Grateful Dead really died. They were never the same. I mean, how they sounded, you know. Yeah,
when you lose an original member.
Yeah, and then you got, of course, the two drummers, Bill Kurtzman, I think that's how you pronounce it, and Mickey Hart, of course. That guy's a crazy acid head, but he's done some amazing drum instrumental shit like that. But yeah, the other people that were on this album was a guy named David Nielsen. He actually played guitar with Jerry Garcia when he was in New Riders of the Purple Sage. They do that song Panama Red. But he was on Cumberland Blues on this album. It's one of the great songs. And then some other guy named Tom Constantine, but he only played keyboards on a reissue of live bonus tracks.
Cool.
It was released in the 90s.
Yeah, let's say they're live tracks. They have so many recordings of that. So.
Mm-hmm. Oh,
he has a big part then.
Yeah, they have way more way more live tracks than studio tracks, those guys. They actually have a vault of Grateful Dead music that like there's so much stuff that hasn't even been heard of because they just haven't gotten to it yet, putting it out. Like they have a vault for all of Johnny Carson's episodes of The Tonight Show, and then I think in the same place they have the Grateful Dead's vault. It's crazy.
It's like Prince, he had a vault.
Yeah, and that would be like the coolest job. There's like a couple people. Well, probably there's more like a team now, but there's just people that get paid to go through that shit and just listen to it every day and document it.
Sign me up.
Yeah, man.
Right?
It's awesome.
What kind of what do you have to do to get that gig?
I know, right?
To be the
probably
vault goer.
You probably have to be an offspring of at least a Grateful Dead roadie or some shit. I would imagine.
It's like you need to go through trials and tribulations.
It's kind of like
take a vision quest or something first.
It's like being born of a noble birth, like being
like
a knight or some shit.
The House of Dead, the Grateful Dead. Like, you are the second born. You shall never enter the vault. Only the firstborn.
But yeah, this album was released June 14th, 1970. It was the fourth studio album by the Dead. And this is where they really got into really constructing the songs and stuff more, because their first three albums was very psychedelic. Like, because that's when they broke out from Haight-Ashbury, you know, so a lot of guitar noodling and whatnot. And this is like
the bluegrassy kind of just going crazy on the instruments.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Good stuff.
Oh, hell yeah.
They recorded it under Warner Brothers at Pacific High Recording. It's in San Francisco, of course. They recorded it in their hometown.
San Francisco.
When they went in to record this, it was in February, like mid to late February, and Jerry Garcia pretty much was planning, we'll go in 3 weeks, bang it out real quick. They ended up doing it in 9 days. Like, Jesus. They recorded it in 9 days. But
like,
I mean,
okay, guys, put the pedal to the metal.
Yeah,
and
right.
It's like, oh, we're done.
This is kind of like,
guys ready to work? Wait.
Yeah.
Fuck. Yeah, we're done.
All while doing crazy amounts of drugs, mind you,
Of
LSD
course.
and all kinds of shit.
Hey, if you're gonna rock it, you gotta sniff it.
It kind of reminded me, though, of like the past podcast with Stevie Ray Vaughan's band, how they went in and they recorded in 2 days because they were already playing so many live gigs. They were masters of their own craft by then. And that's how the Dead was, man. Like,
that's why you have all the dead heads.
Yeah, exactly.
People who will put the bumper sticker on their windows, they'll wear the shirt.
Mm-hmm.
I like the music videos.
Oh, yeah.
Oh, Touch of Grey is like one of the coolest fucking music videos. The shit.
Yeah, their videos were funny as hell, man. They're great.
Go onto YouTube, check out Touch of Grey, Grateful Dead. Watch that music video, the official one. It's really great. You'll be doing yourself a favor.
Yeah, it's awesome. That was that's actually their only #1 hit single was
what?
Touch of Grey. A lot of people think Casey Jones was, but
damn, yeah, Casey Jones is what's on like.
Yeah, that didn't even reach #1, let alone chart. But I'll get to that later.
Oh, cool.
But
we're jumping ahead in his own
jumping ahead a
presentation.
little
Sorry,
bit.
I'm trying to time travel all over your shit here. I'm sorry.
Yeah, but all the songs on this album were collaborated by mainly Garcia and Robert Hunter. He was a great songwriter. He wrote so many great songs for the Dead. He even there's a song he wrote for Phil Lesh after Phil Lesh's dad passed away from cancer, or he was in the midst of dying and wasn't looking good. He wrote Box of Rain for Phil Lesh, and it's just some of the most amazing words ever put together. Like Robert Hunter, that guy was like a true poet, man.
What was that song called?
Box of Rain.
Box of Rain.
Yeah, I don't believe it's on this album. No, it's not on this album, but it's a great song. But yeah, most of the songs that they wrote on this album came from Jerry Garcia's friendship with him, because they'd get together and write all the time. But also, this album was heavily influenced by Crosby, Stills, and Nash.
Hey!
Because, they had been doing the whole psychedelic, kind of sounding, but they really looked up to David Crosby and Stephen Stills for how they put vocals above everything. They were just, they loved their harmonies like everybody else.
Yeah.
That's awesome. Hell
yeah, so they decided, we could do something like that, or we should try doing something like that. So let's give it a shot.
Inspiration between artists.
Yeah, and I mean, it totally, like, you see it in the album. The harmonies on some of these songs, like Uncle John's Band, it's a great harmony song.
Oh, yeah.
High Time, that's a good one, too. Dire Wolf, that's another good one. I mean, almost all these songs, aside from Easy Wind, where the vocals aren't the main concern of the song, that's like the only one, but all of them are just they're great pieces of work. And they actually got some firsthand like advice and stuff from Crosby, Stills, and Nash, because back in
they all lived around the same area.
Yeah, they did
around that time.
And one thing that's cool is back in, it was the summer of '68. Stephen Stills went on vacation in Novato to Mickey Hart's ranch. So he lived with the drummer from the Grateful Dead for like 3 months while Crosby, Stills, Nash was working on their first album. And
I was about to say, I think I remember watching a documentary where Graham Nash was talking about how they, I forget the term used, but in that time they were, a little community outside of the city kind of thing.
Right.
And I think Jerry Garcia was there, and
Yeah.
Graham
like a
Nash was there.
commune.
Yeah, kind of.
yeah, they were doing all kinds of interviews.
Not to throw the term like hippie commune out
Yeah.
there, but I can't think of a better
Dog,
term
if
for
that's
it.
what it was, that's what it was.
Yeah, it is what it is.
Can't dress it up.
Yep. But so that's when they kind of worked with Steven Stills and kind of like,
At
how
the
do you
commune.
how do you do this? How do you do that? At the commune.
At the commune.
What's funny too is this album debuted around the same time that Crosby, Stills, Nash's first album debuted, or something like that.
Okay.
And
so maybe a little competition.
yeah, a little bit, because in Rolling Stone, they said that this was the best album of the year, favoring it over Crosby, Stills, Nash's album Deja Vu. Yeah, I thought that was wild.
So they passes the mass.
Yeah, exactly. They went way past the mark that they were aiming for. Like, they wanted to try and be as good as them, and then in the public's eyes, they kind of overtook them.
Shat on them.
It's crazy. In a kind way, they shat on them.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Respectively, they're both great groups. And if anybody out there's listened back to our podcast before, we have definitely talked about Crosby, Stills, Nash multiple times.
Yeah.
They are a reoccurring theme. So there is talent there.
Much respect.
Absolutely.
Oh yeah, definitely.
So when I say shat on them, it's like, I'm just kidding.
No, he's not.
I ain't trying to be nice. Fuck this shit.
I was about to say, he's giving us all a winky face that nobody can see right now.
Lying bastard.
That's because I'm trying to seduce you with popcorn and movies.
Again with the eyes. Cut that shit out.
But yeah, aside from Crosby, Stills, and Nash influencing this album, they were also influenced by the whole Bakersfield sound, which was really like a honky-tonk bar kind of sound made famous by people like Buck Owens and Merle Haggard.
Listening to Buck Owens.
I think part of the reason why I think they named the album Workingman's Dead is because, one, Jerry and Robert Hunter were kind of joking, saying this is the Workingman's Dead of the band, because they were changing from their psychedelic roots. Not heavily, but they were getting there, And also, they were covering a Merle Haggard song at the time called Workingman's Dead. I thought that was kind of funny.
Okay.
But, one thing I wanted to go over, too, is the equipment crew and shit for this album. Some of their names are just fucking crazy. Like, I had to write it down. Like, the equipment crew was Rex Jackson, S. Hurd, and then this guy named Ramrod. And there's a cool little story about this guy. His real name was Lawrence Shirtlift, and he was like a music exec and a roadie for the Grateful Dead before they even made it anywhere. And he actually stopped once Jerry Garcia died, so he was with them through fucking everything.
All the crazy good times and shit.
And the way this guy got his nickname...
Time to hang up my boots.
The way this guy got his nickname was he was with...
Is this Ramrod?
Yeah, Ramrod. Okay. The origin of his nickname, it was bestowed upon him by Neil Cassidy, the crazy speed freak who would drive around the Merry Pranksters, King Casey and the whole the acid trip.
Oh
guy.
yeah. Oh yeah. Okay.
Yeah, he was the bus driver.
The bus.
Yeah, that guy was crazy. Like Bob
Holy
Weir.
Fuck. He gave him the name?
Huh? Yeah, he gave him the name because Ramrod apparently ramrodded 7 adults into a Volkswagen Bug.
Oh, he just like grabbed the broomstick or something.
Yeah,
Get fucking dead.
Yeah, and Neil Cassidy gave him the nickname.
Hey, Ramrod. Oh,
Yeah.
damn. That's all. I would use a nickname if it was given to me by somebody like important like that.
Yeah, that guy was crazy. Bob Weir said Neil Cassidy would he'd drive like 60 miles an hour through rush hour traffic in San Francisco, and he could
as
stop
long as
on
somebody
a dime,
doesn't call me Dick Chin. It's like, I'm sorry, I can't take that.
Like rush hour traffic, though, being that bad
Yeah.
in the 70s.
Yeah, you're probably right. Not a big population, but in a fucking school bus, mind you, that's still pretty crazy.
It's the only way you do it.
Yep.
On drugs. And it's all Technicolor, and I'm pretty sure it's like not even inspected properly. I mean, the munitions might just be out of this world. No.
That guy's whole life was crazy. I mean, he deserves a podcast episode dedicated to his crazy life. Like,
maybe 100th.
Yeah.
100th episode.
The Neil Cassidy episode. No, but yeah, this album was really different than their past one. The one they did before this was I'm gonna try and say this without fucking it up, but it's Oxo Maxoa.
Oxo Maxoa.
Manana Zendara.
Yeah.
Zendara Manana.
Yeah, it's fucked up like that.
Hey,
Yeah.
what's the matter you?
Yeah, but after they did that album, they were like in debt and shit from it. They went over and stuff, and they totally got screwed over by their manager, who was Mickey Hart's dad. He stole like a bunch of pretty much their acclaimed wealth at the time and just skipped town on them.
Piece of shit.
So they really got screwed over, and at this time they were also dealing with a bust in New Orleans, which they talk about in the song Truckin'.
Yeah,
and it's crazy. This whole ordeal happened like the same month that they cut this album. And the story about that is pretty crazy. I'm not going to get into big details of it, but pretty much a year before, they were playing this gig in New Orleans at the Baton Rouge Raceway. And then they come back a year later in February to do like a 2-night stand thing, you know?
Okay.
And after the first show, they go back to the hotel. They're having a party, and they were with this guy named Owsley Stanley, who they called Bear. And this guy was actually the dude who was really getting acid around the scene in the 60s. Like, he made the Monterey Perp acid that Jimi Hendrix took 2 hits of before he played at Monterey.
Jesus.
And, like, burned his guitar and all that shit.
Holy shit.
Like, this guy was crazy. Like, he was constantly, like, being hunted down and stuff.
He was the guy, though.
And
Yeah.
Jimmy was floating.
Holy
Yep.
fuck. This is the guy. That's so
He's
cool.
the dude, man.
Is he still alive? Do we know?
I believe no. He passed away in the 90s. He actually died in a car accident. Believe it or not. Yeah.
Was he the fucking bus
was-
driver?
Was he on?
I don't know. I can neither confirm nor deny that he was on drugs. But
Let's research that shit.
yeah, he was touring with the Dead, not playing music or nothing, but supplying them with
Drug dealing.
LSD, and they considered him their spiritual advisor.
Of course.
Shit,
Of
the
course.
wizard.
Yeah.
Back in that day.
Yeah, seriously.
Was it the Beatles went to India and they had their
Right.
spiritual
Yeah.
drug dealer?
Mhm.
Air quotes on spiritual.
Yeah. But yeah, they were partying at this hotel, and they ended up getting raided and shit, and they got
Busted
booked. Yeah, they got
down a
arrested
Bourbon
and stuff.
Street.
That's what those lines are from in Truckin'. It's great though.
Wow.
But yeah, so they were coming off that, so they were cutting an album afterwards, and that kind of got them out of the slump of all the bullshit they were dealing with. You know, they just focused on the album. You know, and
Righteous, yeah.
they put their hearts in it. You know.
That's always good. And like,
Mhm.
wow, I love it when actual events really bleed into the music and the artists talk about like
Yeah.
real life shit. That just makes me appreciate it so much more
Yeah, it's great.
than just the regular old dance poppy kind of stuff.
Yeah.
Yeah.
The only people who actually didn't get charged in that raid was Pigpen and that guy Tom Constantine, who had played live with him afterwards and stuff.
Yeah.
yeah, they were the only two.
Ramrod went down, huh?
Yeah, Ramrod went down, man. I don't think any of them got charged at the end of it, though. I
Okay.
think most of them made it
Aha,
out.
the Ramrod escapes.
Yeah.
These are all movie titles now, by the way.
Yeah.
Ramrod gets busted and then Ramrod escapes.
I want a story just about Ramrod.
Yeah, right? Let's do a Ramrod album or something.
But yeah, as far as like the ranks for this album, Rolling Stone, like I said, named it best album of 1970, beating out Crosby, Stills and Nash and Van Morrison. Moondance
Really?
beat that out too. Yeah.
Huh.
Yep.
Awesome.
Made it on the pop albums chart at 27. I don't know how many weeks it stayed there. Didn't say. Went gold in July of 74. Platinum of October 86. That was after the Touch of Grey fame, because that album's what really boosted them into the public eye. Like,
and everybody knows about the Grateful Dead.
yeah,
at that
yeah,
point,
because they were always around, but they weren't like a household name till the 80s,
Yeah.
And that's when they evolved once again.
Shit,
you know?
Righteous, yeah.
Touch
Touch of Grey was great.
They released a single for this album, side A being Uncle John's Band, side B being New Speedway Boogie, which is my favorite song on this album. I'm gonna say it right now, New Speedway Boogie is badass. But it got limited airplay. It didn't really do anything. Didn't really go anywhere. And then they released Casey Jones, which is also on this album. They released that as a single, but it didn't even chart in the U.S. at all. I don't know about overseas or anything, but...
What? Didn't even chart. Like, if you pick up any... The best of the 70s kind of CDs, Casey Jones is on there.
Yeah, it's weird. Wow. I think it's like an unwritten #1 hit that they got.
Yeah, like it's not spoken of, but there's like... Who knows?
But anyone under the sun, if you ask them, do you know the Grateful Dead? They're going to say...
They're like, oh, yeah, I love the Grateful Dead forever. What's your favorite song? Casey Jones. Like, okay.
That's how you know they're not a real fucking fan.
Yeah, posers! Posers! No, I try to stay away from the poser mentality. Nowadays, I'm really trying to change it. But
it's good hard
disclaimer.
I tell you, like, sometimes it is hard. I don't know. There's a certain honor that goes with loving a band for as long as you do.
Yeah.
You know?
But I did want to say that I totally skipped was every song was written by Jerry Garcia and Robert Hunter except Cumberland Blues. Phil Lesh wrote that with those two, which is a great country song. Pretty much, it's just
because this was when they were transitioning from the real bluegrass into kind of rock and blues.
Kind of. Well, I mean, they were actually really country on this album. That's where the whole Bakersfield sound comes in, because that's like what Cumberland Blues is. Like, Cumberland Blues is a song you listen to when you're running late for work and speeding through traffic. That's the song you
60 miles per hour in rush hour traffic in a bus.
That song, that song would make that kind of movie scene.
Yeah, exactly.
Damn, that's pretty righteous.
But yeah, man. And Hunter also wrote Easy Wind. He wrote that song by himself, but that song, Pigpen sings lead on that, and he just owns that fucking song. That is like a strict blues song. It's great.
Cool.
Nice.
Yeah, I've listened to like a lot of Grateful Dead, and most of it, I'd have to say it's like it is pretty damn country, but it's not that kind of my tractor and a beer. Yeah, it's not like that stupid country. It's like, wow,
that's nowadays.
Yeah, it's like this is like you feel
country
stuff.
around that time didn't sound like country. It does now.
Yeah.
Yeah, man. Like, if you ask me if I listen to country, I'll say, I listen to the Grateful Dead and the band. That's about as country as I get.
And that's usually when people are like, that's not country.
Yeah, it's like, and the country music nowadays, anyways, like if you listen to the actual music and not the lyrics, it sounds just like 80s metal, dude. Yeah. It really does. The solos are wicked. Like, I'm like, what the fuck? Like,
it's not country.
Yeah, it's like it's
fucking
not country
Florida
anymore.
Georgia line bullshit.
Baby,
get that shit out of my fucking face.
I did like that song when it came out. I wasn't like blaring it or anything, but I was like, oh, I can boogie to this at work. After hearing it for the 85th time, I was like, all right, enough of this shit. I'm gonna start listening to CDs.
I caught him dancing one day.
No, that was to what is it? I know you lie. Your lips are moving.
Meghan Trainor?
Yeah. I danced to that shit while doing dishes.
I don't want to drone on anymore about this Grateful Dead album, but two more facts I thought were cool.
Hey, rock on, man.
Is Owsley Stanley, the Acid King, was what they called him.
The Acid King.
Yeah, that's what they called him, man. Yeah.
Is that like an actual nickname?
Maybe? Yeah. I mean, well, his main nickname was Bear, and that's actually where the Dancing Bears came from.
Jew.
Was from that guy.
Really?
Yeah. That logo and everything.
That is so fucking cool. I didn't know that. Bear.
And
that's the little bears.
He also came up with the Steal Your Face emblem, which the Grateful Dead adopted as their main fucking symbol. Yeah. You know, the skull with the lightning bolt and the skull and the forehead. Yeah.
That should be the American flag instead of all the stars.
Right.
Have that. The United States of Dead.
Yeah. But yeah, he invented that with his
sure
close
there's
friend.
A cult out there somewhere.
Cult of Chris. I'll fucking make that flag. I'll wave that shit. Hell yeah.
But yeah, that's
Cult of Chris.
Yeah.
That's my pure find though.
Dude, that was a good fucking choice. I'm so happy I got to talk about Grateful Dead.
Yeah, thanks.
Dude, we got this like brain thing happening or something. Because I was thinking about it earlier, and then it shows up and it's like, holy fuck, he's doing it.
It's meant to be.
Like, this is what ESP was working.
Yeah, ESPN. Yeah.
But yeah, we should time travel to 1971, right?
Down, down. That's 71. Yeah. This is one of my favorite bands for a long time. I do get into those spats where, or what do we call them? It's like almost like a hole. You go down the rabbit hole.
Yeah.
You listen to this one band for a very long time.
Phase, yeah, that's what I call
a phase.
it. Yeah.
And it can go on for like maybe
I like
a few
the
days.
rabbit hole analogy though. That's
that
pretty
sounds
good.
cool.
It
Yeah,
sounds
right?
better than a
It
phase.
starts with the greatest hit.
I
and
went
it goes
down
to
the
an
rabbit
album,
hole.
and then
Yeah.
it goes into the lost tapes and all that other shit.
Sometimes
Today-
they last forever too.
Yeah, I'm talking about one of these coolest albums. I recently got this, I think, last year. It was gifted to me by Ian. And it's a variant cover
Yeah.
edition of The Doors' L.A. Woman.
Yeah.
Yeah, I've never seen that before.
Yeah.
That alternate version.
Yeah, it's pretty cool
Talking to our
because
guy at Blue Shark.
with the regular L.A. Woman album, what it looks like is it's red and it has a little yellow square cut out of the middle. You can see through the yellow, and it's usually just flat, correct? And it has this black version etched in of the band members that are on the see-through sleeve. On the inner sleeve, though, mine has a picture of the cross. It looks like Jesus on the cross, but
Yeah.
it could be Jim Morrison before he got chubby. I don't know. But yeah, it's a variant cover. One of the very few that actually have something like that.
Yeah, I've never seen that before.
Yeah,
That's
it's in pretty
awesome.
good condition. It's a little busted up on the sides, and some asshole wrote on the back of it.
They
Because
always
people
do.
love to put their name on shit
It's
in the
because
70s.
people would steal albums and shit, man.
But it does say the date on the back.
Yeah, that is kind
Yeah.
of cool.
This was purchased in 1971. That's what it's.
8/22. When was it
Yeah.
released? Do you have,
This was released April 1971.
Oh,
So
cool.
4
So-
months after.
Yep, 4
He
months
was like,
after it was out.
this
Not
guy
bad.
probably had one of his albums stolen. He was like, I'm marking all my fucking albums now
Yeah.
and the date.
So that bastard Richard doesn't come over and steal my fucking albums.
Always Richard.
Richard, that piece of shit.
God damn it, Richard.
I fucking hate
Fuck you, Richard.
One of the coolest Doors albums ever.
Sorry to
Big
any
fan.
Richards listening.
I really do get into these phases, as we call it. I get into these phases with
You
the
went
Doors.
down the rabbit hole.
Just like with the Beatles too, and
Yeah.
all sorts of things. The Doors have always been there since I was in high school.
Yeah.
It really speaks to you at that age when the world's ending.
Yep.
Yeah.
Imminent
This is the
death.
sixth. It's actually the sixth Doors album, done by Elektra Records, which they've all also done Anthrax, Bad Company, The Cure, Motley Crue. So they've done a lot of hard stuff.
Wow.
This album was basically when the band was going from the big orchestral kind of songs like "Touch Me."
Yeah, exactly.
Come on, come on,
Midnight
come on, touch
Drive,
me,
shit
baby.
like that.
Yeah, it's like that epic song. I love that song. But
His
this album
crooner
definitely brought it
face.
to light that they had a phase themselves.
Yeah.
They did the orchestral and they were like, well, let's go back to kind of blues rock and
Hell
really
yeah.
dumb it down, have some good old fun.
Mm.
Their longtime producer Paul A. Rothschild,
Mm-hmm.
he decided to walk out after hearing "Love Her Madly."
Really?
After that, yeah, he was like, "This is quote unquote cocktail music."
Yeah, I don't think.
He might have been English. I don't know. He might have been British. Like, oh, it's fucking cocktail music.
I think Jim Morrison was against that song. It was either that song or "Love Me Two Times." One of those songs, though. I remember Jim Morrison was like refusing to do it because.
Oh, yeah, maybe. A couple of articles I read said he was unenthusiastic
Yeah,
about it. He was just kind of like, I don't really want to fuck with it. But
right.
he did it. This was Jim Morrison's final album.
Yeah, I
with
was just
Doors.
gonna ask you that.
Yeah, this was his final album. It was
So the
1971.
last real Doors album. You know what's crazy is they actually had reunited a few years later in the 70s. With
What?
I don't even know
With,
if
like-
they had a singer or not, but it was all the original members without Jim
I'm
Morrison.
about to say, I know they tried to do something with the guy from The Cure.
Yeah,
They
that was
tried
even
that.
later, like in the 90s, I think, which was really
Yeah.
cool. I
Oh,
don't know
really?
that guy's name, but he filled in for Morrison.
Not a
I didn't
household
hear
name
anything
for
about
that.
that.
Yeah,
I'll say we should research that.
Kyle would know if he's here.
Kyle, yeah. Well,
But
it's what
yeah.
it is. So actually, Bruce Botnick, I think that's it. Bruce Botnick actually co-produced this,
Mhm.
and he also produced the Rolling Stones' "Let It Bleed."
Oh,
Yeah, so
okay.
so he was really good on the rock and all that, and it worked out just fine because this album is very good. You have songs on it like "Love Her Madly," you have "L.A. Woman." These are
Yeah.
classics. "Riders on the Storm," which is
Oh,
one of the
God.
most
Yeah.
trippy-ish songs, and "La America," which is like a huge jam.
Okay.
Oh yeah, it's pretty intense. One of my other favorite is Crawling King Snake. That was pretty trippy and long, and there's that kind of Native American kind of ish sound. It's really cool.
For those who can't see, Chris was miming bongos.
Yeah, I was doing the hand bongos. Before this, they started recording this album. This is when Jim Morrison got into that indecent exposure thing in Miami.
Oh yeah,
Putting his
showing
finger
his
through the
thumb.
pants.
Yeah.
They're like, "Oh my God, it's a penis," but we all can tell it's not.
Have you seen
We're gonna
the
be mad.
footage of that? Not the actual cock thumb incident, but when he's like fighting them in court, like it's kind of like the Judge Judy thing where they step out of the courtroom. It's like, yeah, I think this is bullshit.
Oh really?
Yeah, there's actually
I've seen
footage
that.
of Jim Morrison being interviewed in the
Did
court.
he say
and
anything
stuff.
funny? Or?
Dude, it's been like a few years since I
long.
watched it. It's on YouTube though. It's
Hey, everybody,
definitely
go on
worth a
YouTube.
watch.
Go on YouTube and check that Jim
Yeah.
Morrison courtroom. Just say
Yeah.
courtroom. See what happens. Jim Morrison actually wanted to quit in 1968,
Oh really?
but the keyboardist,
Ray Manzarek,
yeah, convinced him just like, hey, stick around for like one more album or something. Like let's
Right.
try to make this work and everything. Which it did. This was a great album. This is one of their, one of the best, I would say. It peaked at number 23 on the billboards, and that was U.S. United Kingdom, I don't even know. It was probably like 100 because they're super freaking touchy, and we all know that. On rhythm guitar to extra rhythm guitar, Mark Benz. Mark Benz was a bass. He was. He also did rhythm guitar on just to smooth out the sound of the entire album. But he worked in a band called the Asylum Choir with Ian's boy Leon Russell.
That's my homeboy.
Yeah, we talked about him on the first podcast, and he was in the Joe Cocker.
Yeah,
Mad Dogs and Englishmen.
That's right.
Yeah, and great musician. He plays pretty much everything. And yeah, the Asylum Choir, I really want to check them out now because it's
That's
like
an
this
awesome
guy worked
name.
with. Yeah, right? And I was like, damn, that's a really tight name. Also, Elvis Presley's bassist, Jerry Schiff.
Oh, nice.
Let's see here. They finished this album in 6 days.
Wow, 6 days.
Only 6 days.
That's
man.
crazy. They put the dead to shame.
Yeah. I was like, I'll beat you. No, 9 days, fuck you.
Damn it, I have to go first, and your band did better than mine in the studio.
Well,
They were the Doors, man.
yeah, like, and that really shows. They just kind of went in
That's
and did their
awesome.
fucking job. They hit it and quit it,
6
got it done.
days.
Yeah, 6 days to record everything. It was mixed at Poppy Studios between February and March. And then 1971, that's like right after all this, Jim moved to Paris.
Okay.
Where,
His
Paris,
fateful
France.
Move to Paris. Yeah.
Yeah, we all know that. I heard that there is rumors that Riders on the Storm was the final. It was the final song that he recorded. I think it's the final song he might have recorded as The Doors, but there are tapes, like the Paris tapes, they call them.
Really?
Yeah, and those
I
are
never
found.
knew about those.
Me neither.
Huh.
And apparently he had some other group too. I think it was Joe Mo in the something. Just JOMO.
Huh.
And there's
Right.
the band.
Yeah, he's got some obscure secret recordings. I remember downloading legally
Yeah,
On,
legally download.
on LimeWire back in the day of this cut of apparently Jimi Hendrix with Jim Morrison recording this song called
Fuck
"Fucker
her in the
Right in
ass.
Yeah.
Fuck her in the ass. Yeah. That is true, and that's a really good.
It's crazy.
Take. Yeah, it's nuts.
You'd think it's a parody, but nope.
Yeah.
They were probably stoned off their asses in the recording.
Oh, I can almost guarantee.
Yeah.
Let me see here. Yeah, and after everything was completed, Jim Morrison, of course, he moved to Paris, and he died on July 3rd, and this was only like 3 months after the album was completed.
Did he die before the album even came out, I wonder?
No, it did come out. It
Oh,
came
okay.
out in April.
Okay. Well,
Yep.
I'm sure that boosted sales amazingly.
Yeah. What was happening during a lot of the recording of this album, the company that the Doors were signed under, they released some greatest hits kind of junk called 13.
Yeah, I've got that album.
Yeah. they released that just for the Christmas season without telling the band or anything.
Oh, wow.
They're just like, we compiled this, and we're sending it out for Christmas. So like they weren't really happy about it, but they figured like, fuck them, we're doing a new album anyway, whatever. And they just kind of swept it under.
Right.
So it worked out for everybody in the end because I've owned like 2 or 3 different
Yeah.
Doors greatest hits. Like,
Yeah.
come on, touch me, baby. That's all the quick fun facts I do have. I just kind of shot through them because like I just wanted to get it out there. But this album it's absolutely spectacular. I do try to listen to it as much as possible, but this is a special copy, so I haven't listened to it a lot on vinyl. But I do listen to it at work and stuff occasionally.
I love the artwork on the sleeve with the crucifix. It's almost controversial in a way, you know.
Oh yeah, it's very.
That was definitely Jim Morrison's idea.
Yeah.
Too.
Oh yeah.
Always pushing the envelope.
Yep.
Always. And it's such a good like I said, Changeling is really good. You have Lover Madly, Been Down So Long, which is that's a great blues kind of song. Car Hiss by My Window, one of the longer songs, like 4 minutes. And let me see here, The Crawling King Snake. I fucking love that song. And Riders on the Storm gives you that kind of vibe of
Eeriness and
the eeriness.
it's like a Halloween night song.
Yeah, and this album is fucking full of it, really.
Yeah.
Of that organ.
Oh,
Kind
yeah.
of, yeah, chunky, what do
Yep,
we call it?
yep.
That chunky organ. It's all of the keyboard work is absolutely spectacular. It really shines as one of their best albums, I believe. And the English actually do agree with me on that.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, they think this is
For
the
once.
best. They say this is the best Doors album. And if I had to have any one, it would be this one. And like I said, Ian bought this one for me, and I'm eternally grateful. It's a great copy.
It's more like a pure gift at that point.
Yeah, pure gifting. I like
Stay
that.
tuned for the Christmas special.
That's going to be the Christmas. It's going to be pure gifting.
I called it. Credit.
Yeah, and you can't. The only thing you can bring to the table, it has to be a gift. So.
Oh, good God.
I hope everybody's been given a record before. It can be anything. It doesn't have to be a vinyl. I've said that once. Like, just kept it very loose this time. I just wanted to keep it super open.
It's a great album, man.
Yeah, and
It's
Jim
definitely
Morrison
one-
himself is just one of those great artists. He will be forever remembered as like the American poet.
Yeah. Most definitely.
Drugs were involved in this album, so just want to make that clear.
As I would hope.
Absolutely.
Coming from 71.
Exactly. In 71, like I said, this is around that time. Way back when, I think it was our first podcast, I was like, this is where music starts changing. This was the last Doors album.
Yep.
You know, so everything started changing, and that is my pure find.
It's a great find, man.
Yeah, it was like a bit quick. Mine was a bit quick. Oh, yeah, I do want to mention before moving on. We talked about last time, there's a song from CCR that... you said there's a Twilight Zone episode.
Yes.
From a song. What was all that again?
The Bad Moon. The song. What was all that? I don't remember anything.
All that shit.
No, Bad Moon Rising was John Fogerty wrote it kind of about
Hey, read it.
he read it about this one this old Southern Gothic tale, The Devil and Daniel Webster.
Yeah.
And there's actually a Twilight Zone episode based on that story.
Yeah, and that episode is called Printer's Devil.
Okay.
Yeah, I was like, what? I've never heard that. I was like, let me look through all the catalogs and all this bullshit. And I was like, I looked through and I had to search it pretty deep, and I found like, oh, it's Printer's Devil, that episode. I was like, okay, great. And then I popped it in.
Awesome.
But now we can time travel all the way to Ian's decision for the night.
My decision. Yeah, I feel kind of bad. Everybody's hanging around the 70s.
Yeah,
and
you're the
stuff like
odd
that.
man out, dude.
I had to be the oddball out. We're time traveling to 2004.
2004, when I was in high school. I think I was just going in.
I was in high school.
3 years after 9/11.
3 years after 9/11.
Dawn of the Dead came out.
Hey!
That's about all I remember from 2000.
That was really good, though.
Yeah, we're in time travel to 2004. Like I said, oddball out.
Of course.
Everybody's doing music.
Like,
It's
we just
yeah.
jumped 40 years.
Yeah.
Like,
It's like everybody's like, yeah, I know that artist. I mean, I necessarily wouldn't be surprised if somebody knew about them, but it wouldn't, throw me off if nobody had heard of them either.
well, Zenyatta Mindata, go on. Go for it.
Yeah, I'm doing Sounding a Mosaic is the album title by Bedouin Soundclash.
Gesundheit.
Thank you. Heard this group from one of my roommates back in college, and it stuck with me ever since then, which 2007, 2008-ish, I guess.
Okay.
Yeah, so it's a great album. Like I said, released September 7th, 2004. It's their second studio album. They're basically a reggae, ska, alternative rock kind of group. Yeah, it's one of those ones where you can hear the music and it seems cheery and easygoing, and you're like, oh yeah, I can really like this, and
boogie down.
You can relax to it, kind of thing. But some of the lyrics you listen to them, it's like they've got much more of a deeper meaning.
Like the Slackers or
kind of
possibly Real Big Fish.
Real Big Fish is a bit much. Real Big Fish is like ska. This is like a more relaxed. It's like that in between reggae and ska thing.
So there are horns, but there's also that beat of boop, 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 boop.
Not that extreme.
Okay.
Yeah, listen to the album.
I was gonna say, I gotta hear it now. It's like,
Yeah.
it's not like any of that. I'm not gonna guess it.
But they recorded the album at, I want to say, DNA Recording. And here's where things kind of get a little iffy, because a lot of the information I found for the album was very contradictory to itself.
Mm-hmm.
I couldn't exactly find out where, because when I did look up DNA Recording, or DNA Studios, I should say, it was supposed to be in in Canada.
Canada.
Yeah, Canadian group.
Oh,
Yeah.
right on, eh? Sorry.
And when I looked it up, it actually took me to another DNA recording facility in Canada.
Like
So-
for the Maury show, the DNA recording place. All right, I'll get rid of that joke.
That joke went over my head. No, it was like,
Just throw that one up.
but yeah, it's very contradictory. I mean, if this is the same place, I mean, I couldn't find their name on the group of people who have recorded there. Now, I mean, they could only be showing notable artists or whatever. Cause,
Yeah. Okay.
They weren't super huge, but I mean enough to do something, right?
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
The one solid fact that I thought was good, it was produced by Daryl Jennifer. He's the bass player for the Bad Brains
Oh shit!
Yeah.
Right on.
and the White Mandingos.
White Mandingos.
Yes.
I have not heard of them, and I kind of want to stop and listen real quick.
It's they classified the White Mandingos as a rap rock group.
rap rock, like new metal,
Rap rock. That's what it was classified as. Rap rock.
like Limp Bizkit,
I don't know.
like Korn,
I mean, apparently they're still playing.
like Kid Rock.
Check them out. Find out.
Okay, I'm gonna find out now. The
It's
White
Daryl
Mandingos.
Jenner from the Bad Brain, or Jennifer from the Bad Brain. So I mean, it might. I hope it's not like all those groups that you just described.
Yeah, I'm not hoping for it. I'm just.
Yeah, I mean, he's a DC boy, so I mean.
Oh, fucking right. Dude.
Yeah.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. Just like Henry Rollins always talks about the Bad Brains and
Yeah.
everybody. He used to chill with them. Hell
Yeah, Daryl Jennifer is from DC. So, but yeah, the singles released on this album: "When the Night Feels My Song," "Shelter," and I'm gonna butcher this name. Giassi went home. Yeah, I'm butchering that horribly. It really is like.
Zenyatta Mindata.
Yeah, I'm butchering it. And like I said, a lot of this information is contradictory. I couldn't find a whole lot solid on this. I mean, some of the few solid things I found was that for the U.S. Billboard top reggae albums, it peaked at number 9.
Mm-hmm. Okay.
The singles,
Hey, that ain't bad.
yeah, this one got a little contradictory. The charts for the single "When the Night Feels My Song," which is a fantastic song. I saw 2 different numbers for this. One, I saw that it reached #1 in Canada, and the other one I saw it reach #4 in Canada. It never peaked any in the U.S. and then for the U.K. it hit 24. So reasonably, I guess we could say 2. It peaked at #2.
Yeah, sure. It's like just yeah.
Cut it in half.
We'll just average it out real quick. That's the American way.
Pretty much.
Fuck you, Canadians.
Well, I mean,
It's average
It's
now.
never been certified in the States.
Stepping wolf my ass. Chop it.
It's never been certified in the States. It reached platinum certification in Canada, which I thought this was another interesting tidbit. Apparently, for Canada, when you reach platinum, that means you've sold 100,000 units.
And isn't it in the U.S. you have to sell 1 million?
Yeah, and actually,
You should go to Canada and try and be
actually,
Dude, right? Like, dude, we can be platinum selling artists
and
in
actually,
Canada.
the thing is this is before they changed their system too.
That is like
Because now I have nothing against Canada. I've never been there, but now that they made it easier for their artists to reach platinum because they actually changed it not too long after this album reached platinum. They
that's how
changed it.
Justin Bieber did so well.
Think
that
about it
little
this way:
bastard.
now you only have to sell 80,000 units in Canada to get platinum.
Damn.
Get platinum,
So it's
80,000.
It's even easier now.
Yeah, that's what I said.
So 80,000 units,
sold.
or about, I'd say, okay, so 80,000. So 80,000 units sold, or that would be
180,000.
or that would be
in the US.
about 64,000 bottles of maple syrup. Yeah.
I was not expecting
Where did that come from?
Nah.
I don't know. So I'm just trying to relate it to Canadians.
That's sound logic because this actually is the CRIA, which is the Canadian certification.
Oh, well, yeah.
Yeah.
That's a lot of syrup.
So 100,000 units by, well,
That's a
80,000 now.
Right on.
But yeah, I mean, I chose this album because, I mean, it's good. It's one that you can turn on and kind of let sit and relax to it. I mean, it's almost like a busy album where you can be doing something but still enjoy the album.
Yeah.
Or if you really wanted to sit down and listen to it, you can and get lost into the music. I mean, it's not, it's not the Dead and it's not the Doors or anything like that.
Right.
But
But
I
it's
mean,
nothing to be pushed to the side. It's
Yeah.
Exactly.
really something.
well, I mean, I would think most of the stuff that we bring to the table shouldn't be pushed aside.
Absolutely. That's why we're talking about it.
Do you have a favorite track off this
I
album?
do. Actually, the singles that were released are all great. The two that definitely stand out to me is the first single released, When the Night Feels My Song, which is fantastic, and Shadow of a Man is another one that's really, really good.
Cool. We'll have to check that
Yeah,
out.
and it is, like, it's funny that they label it as reggae, ska, alternative rock thing, because it's, in my mind, it doesn't sound too much like that, because it isn't super big on horns or anything like that.
Yeah.
Which would give
okay.
it that ska feel, and according to Chris's reggae beat, it doesn't really follow that either. Yeah. Yeah, but I mean, there is a lot of solid bass work that would give it that feel, I guess.
Yeah.
But at
But-
the same time, they kind of do their own.
Yeah.
Would
It's
Would
you
you
like,
we
say
can't
it's like almost
classify it.
punk?
no,
No? Okay.
not at all, because there's not heavier guitars with it.
So it is pretty chill music.
Yeah, it's in my opinion, it is very relaxing. It's nothing like punk.
It's something that you can pop in. It's like it'll be customer friendly. I'll put in air quotes.
Oh yeah,
And what's the name of this band again? It's kind of a mouthful.
Yeah.
Bedouin Soundclash.
Bedouin Soundclash.
Bedouin, Bedouin.
Okay.
Bedouin.
Sound Clash.
Huh.
Clash.
Bedouin
Bedouin
Soundclash.
Sound Clash.
Yeah.
That's why I was like, Gazoo. It was like,
It's a unique name.
Bedouin Sound
It
Clash.
is.
Bedouin Sound Clash.
Say that 5
Yada
times.
Mandata.
I mean, clever title to the album. I thought that was great too. I mean, the artwork definitely resembles the name in a way. It's
Okay.
sounding a Mosaic, which is pretty cool. But
I want to give it a listen so bad.
Gotta do it.
The album?
sounding a Mosaic.
Sounding a Mosaic.
Yeah.
Okay. Sounding a Mosaic. Right on. Okay, now I got it.
Yeah.
I just want to memorize so I can look it up later. I don't have a pen with me here, so. I'm
Yeah,
all
definitely,
fucked.
definitely, and that's basically all I got. I mean, I can't really say much more about it. It's easygoing. Like I said, most of the information I found with it was very contradictory to itself. So, a lot of why I chose the album, kind of thing.
Mm-hmm. Cool, man.
That's all I got.
Sweet.
Right on.
That was your pure find. Let me see here.
Pure gifted listen, I guess it was.
Yeah, pure gifted. What time are we at now?
Oh, we're fine.
Oh, cool. I was just making sure we're good.
Just don't ramble for 10 more minutes.
Right on. Now we're going to start rambling on for 10 minutes. Real quick.
No, we're going to do 9 minutes.
This is going to be our great closer again. I do want to run around the table and ask everybody what songs made a music scene for us, so y'all can get a good idea of what we're trying to look for. And please do comment. Last time we had such a good response. I kind of want to repeat that because it was a lot of fun just getting to talk about it and open it up.
Yeah, it's nice seeing what other people, feel about these questions.
I
And
listen to a lot of Beyonce now.
It shows that people are listening.
Yes,
Thank you.
exactly.
Exactly. Yeah, thank you. It shows that people are listening, and thank you for everybody for your support. Your support.
You guys are awesome.
It's really been a driving force, and it makes me think like, hey, wait, we can actually do this, and have a good time, and it's appreciated.
Yes.
So, does anybody have one that you want to just bring up real quick? Cause
I do, but I don't want to go first. I want to.
Damn it.
I do.
I already went first
That's
tonight.
how it always is. It's like, I have an answer, but I'm not going first. I'll go first.
I just want to see what you
Yeah,
guys.
go in. Woo!
I am doing Freebird for the Kingsman.
Freebird and the Kingsmen.
During the fight scene.
Explain the scene real quick. Set up spoilers. Everybody, spoilers if you haven't seen the Kingsmen. Okay, go.
There's a very specific fight scene in this movie that involves the song Freebird by Leonard Skinner. I'm pretty sure they know what it is. And if they not, then they really have been living under a rock.
Yeah.
But
It's American drinking song.
it's a very specific fight scene in that movie, and it puts everything together. Going to the choreography of the fighting and along with the music, they edited the movie very well to fit with the music, and the music to fit with the movie, vice versa kind of thing. And it's good. I recommend anybody watching that movie.
Yeah, this is when the super spy is apparently a sleeper spy.
No spoilers. That's why I said
I wanted to throw it out, just be like, hey, everybody.
That's why I said a very specific fight scene. And everybody, if you go out and watch this movie, you'll know exactly what I'm talking about when it gets to it, because you will be for a ride. Definitely.
It was tremendous. I didn't expect it when, I had one dude that I know. I wouldn't call him a friend, but he ain't a friend. But one dude was saying,
a frenemy?
Yeah, frenemy.
There we
Yeah. It's like, I just hate his face. But he was like, yeah, man, Kingsman, it's a great movie, huh? And I was like, I don't think so, dude. If you liked it, I'm not going to watch it. Then Ian, a few weeks later, is like, hey, dude, Kingsman's a pretty good movie. And I was like, oh, really, dude? Okay, I'll check it out. We watched it here in the living room, right outside of the Amazing Bastard Studios here.
Chris and I do this a lot, throwing movies and music back and forth at each other.
Oh, absolutely. Just all day. It's like,
It'll be one of the...
watch this, listen to this.
Yeah,
watch
you
this,
did it with the
listen to
Hateful Eight.
Yeah. Hateful Eight
Yeah.
was awesome. That was
But
good.
talking about Kingsman,
Yeah. So we sat down and watched it, and it was stupendous. It really is great. Every shot is brilliantly set up. The story is amazing. The actors are out of this world. Everybody did a great job.
it wasn't the Hateful Eight.
What wasn't the Kingsman? Wasn't the Hateful Eight?
It was the Revenant.
Oh no, I showed you. Bro.
That's the one. No, the Hateful Eight, I think we were all agreed upon, but it was the Revenant that you basically came and knocked down my door and said that I had to watch.
Oh yeah, right. Yeah,
Yeah.
I barged in. I was like, you need to see this now. Dude.
Yeah, basically.
Stop whatever the fuck you're doing. Put this in your little computer.
Chris had his serious face on, which pops out on occasion. Yeah, he had his serious face on, and he was like, "Stop what you're doing and watch this." And
Do
I
the
did.
evil eyes, and I said, and then I try to seduce him with popcorn and movies. It happens. But yeah, it's just really spectacular, and I know the fight scene you're talking about, and it's one of the coolest things you'd ever seen.
What's yours?
The cinematography for it was great.
I've watched. I am a little bit of a movie buff. Okay, some people call me
That's
an asshole.
Some people call me a cynical ass.
Yeah, it's like I might just be a cynical asshole. I love all sorts of movies, so I have probably 5 or 6 different choices, but I'll run through maybe 1 or 2. I'm sorry. I'm a little commercial here. Titanic with Celine Dion.
That's the one you chose.
I thought you were joking
Not the
when
one.
you said that.
Not the one. I'm sorry, it made it. That's a beautiful song too. She did it in one take.
Oh, these
That
are
was
the
one
runners
that
up.
you
She did that shit in one take.
I highly doubt it.
Yeah, runners up. Yeah, don't make me seem like a jerk. So that was number 3, because I'm awesome like that. Number
Saving
2 would be
face.
Django Unchained with 100 Black Coffins. That made the movie. Really, oh man, number 1.
Now he can't pick the number 1.
Right, it's tough. There's so many good. I have bees buzzing in my head, so I'm like trying to think. Freebird at the end of Devil Rejects was really great. That did make the scene, but I kind of want to go with. Damn, dude, I'm drawing a blank right this second. I can't think of a number.
You
one.
wanna wait a week to reveal your number one?
Right, next week on Pure Fines.
Maybe when everybody gives their answers, you'll finally have your number one.
Yeah, right. Like, oh no, that's my favorite. Yeah, that's right.
You can't take that one. I already called it.
Oh, I did like the My Dear Annie and Gangs of New York. That's not a commercialized song though. I think that song
I know what you're talking about.
Yeah.
Mhm.
Was it like "Do Me Way, Santi, My Dear Annie" when they're all dancing
yeah,
around in
yeah.
the bar and stuff.
Mm.
It's not a commercialized song, but that's definitely like stuck in my head before where I'm like, that kind of makes that scene. I really love it. And that little flute noise for the dead rabbits. No, when the dead rabbits, whenever they're in the tunnels and shit, it has that like
Yeah.
flute thing. I hear it every time in the war drums. They're cool. Yeah, I'd say Gangs of New York had a great soundtrack. Period. Just that Dear Annie song really got me. You know, that's the best I can come up with right this second on the spot.
Right
Default choice, Danger Zone and Top Gun.
All right, you're picking too many now.
Highway to
All right, so Cody, and yours is
Yeah. Okay,
We're just
I've
gonna
just
cut him
got
off now.
I've got one runner up, and my runner up is definitely Shaun of the Dead. Don't Stop Me Now.
Yes.
Yeah, I love that.
That was a good one.
Yeah.
That's great. I love that. But
Hell yeah.
my all-time favorite is the intro credits to From Dusk Till Dawn, Dark Knight by the Blasters. That's the most badass movie intro, in my opinion.
Yeah.
Them walking out of a blown up liquor store and
Yeah,
arguing.
yeah.
Then the guitar just comes in. That's my favorite.
Damn.
Great
Man.
piece of cinematography.
That was really
right
good.
there.
Holy shit. So everybody had great choices. Chris dropped
You
the
fucked
fucking
up,
ball.
man.
Yeah.
You fucked
The
up.
movie
You're trying
buff.
to save
the movie
face.
buff drops the ball.
Yeah, you really are a little bit of a movie buff, I guess.
Yeah, I'm sorry. I've seen a lot. Okay, I've seen a lot.
And you couldn't pick one.
There's so much out there, dude.
Oh, I
Like
agree.
said, I
but
love the Gangs of
still.
New York soundtrack. I'll put it there. It's like all of that is great. And other than that, it's been very pretty regular. Besides the classics, you know. That's what I got. But you know, hey, I might have a different one next week. Who knows? Shit.
We might have 5 more next week.
Yeah.
It's gonna be an ongoing bit.
Yeah.
Zenyatta Mandata.
Chris's new closer, his favorite scene
Favorite
stealer.
5
Yeah.
kind of things. Well, I'll wait till I get some suggestions. I hear other suggestions from people, and then
Yeah.
I might be able to make a sound decision.
Right on.
I'll definitely mention it in the opener next week.
Cool.
Again, I'm Chris Morrison,
I'm in.
I'm Cody.
and we're closed. We're Pure Fines. Everybody have a great night, and now listen to some awesome outro music.